We got why everyone is tired of Wolverine and Jean, including me. I'm very tired of it. I want Wolverine to be with like someone else, not Storm, because Storm is messing with Black Panther, bro. And those are my two goats. Those are my two goats, bro. Like who? Like Wolverine could never have anyone for real. Like when we really think about it, he could never have anyone, bro. If we really put it into calculations and science, nah. Nah, that can't happen. I ain't gonna lie. That can't happen. No disrespect. Wolverine was one of the first superheroes I messed with, but hey. Hey, bro, it can't happen. I ain't gonna lie, it can't happen. So.
Can I see you real quick? Right, because I need to see.
Devious audio clip for that, bro. You know we playing the Wolverine game when it come out, don't you? Devious.
Is anyone else tired of the forced Wolverine and Jean Grey relationship being jammed down our throats because it's feeling like programming propaganda? With the new Wolverine game coming out next month, I thought I'd talk about the most forced ship in Marvel history. I honestly don't care if I get hate for saying this, but I am sick. I am sick and tired of the mess that is Wolverine and Jean Grey, along with
Jean do not want you, bro. She don't want you. I'm gonna say it. Wolverine, bro, you one of my goats, but she do not want you, my boy. She don't want you, bro. Pipe down. Find someone else. I thought it would have been easy. Personally, I thought it would have been easy. But she don't want you, bro. You're gonna have to move on. Like, I don't know who or with. Hey, no one wants She-Hulk. Maybe her. Maybe She-Hulk. She ain't X-Men, but maybe She-Hulk. Cause I don't know no more Wolverine. I don't. Let me think. Maybe dang. I don't know. Right now, She-Hulk. I don't want to see it, but I don't care. You gotta stop chasing her, bro. Listen, Wolverine. Listen, hold on. Let's be so for real. Wolverine in Marvel, shoot, even in superhero, he has the most creative taste in women I've ever seen. First, he wants Jean Grey, someone who's already with Scott, his like enemy, by the way. Not enemy, but like they teammates, but like he don't mess with Scott. So she's already with Scott, right? So I don't know why you chasing her. Then I'm pretty sure he had a crush on that one lady with the giant fingernails, or the weird, like I get y'all got like sharp hands or whatever, and that's a common thing, but still, right? And then Storm, which was actually completely valid. Shoot. But I don't think Storm wants you either, little bro. So I don't know what to tell you, bro. You're gonna have to get MJ because she cheats on Spider-Man all the time, so maybe that's your chance. Sure.
Overplayed, done to death love triangle with Scott Summers. They have been doing this godforsaken love triangle for the last 40 years. This relationship feels like an industry plant nobody wants. Can we put it to bed already? Not to get sidetracked, but I absolutely cannot stand love triangles. Love triangles are
I don't like them either. I ain't gonna lie. Cause it always looks weird on the third person. It always looks weird on the third person, so I never really liked them on stuff.
It's a ridiculous romance trope to start some drama because the story or the writer demands it. My biggest gripe with love triangles is that it portrays the most selfish and unhealthy actions as love or romance. But in actuality, it just makes the people in the love triangle look bad and immature. And half the time, the solution is
man, Cobra Kai had one of the craziest love triangles ever seen. It was like 2 love triangles, honestly. Cause it was like Miguel and Mr. Miyagi's daughter or whatever, right? They were messing with each other. Then Mr. Miyagi's daughter went to that like one dude, I forgot his name, but he was the dad of I forgot, the main Cobra Kai dude. He was the son of him. And then so he was messing with old dude, and then well, she wasn't actually. It was confusing. Okay, it was confusing. It was confusing, and I ain't watch it in a minute, and I'm not gonna watch it again because I just don't get it. I don't get it. But yeah,
obvious. Communicate. Tell the
for real. That's another thing. They never talk. They never talk. So now it's like you imagine your homeboy being jealous of someone else when you never talk to. It don't make sense. Stranger Things had a bad love triangle too in season 5 with William, dude, and then 11. Weird love triangle, bro. Strange. I don't know.
How do you feel? If you're already in a relationship and you've fallen for someone else, be honest about it and deal with the consequences. Don't spend an entire season or 2.5 movies playing emotional gymnastics while everyone around you suffers. My first introduction to love triangles was also my first anime, which was Inuyasha. Girl,
never watched
the mess that was Kikyo, Kagome, and Inuyasha had me rolling as a kid. Adding Koga to the mix, and Inuyasha was a jealous, heated buffoon that switches up on Kagome being a 2-timing dog, running back to his ex that wants to kill him. I'm sorry, what was I talking about? I got heavily sidetracked. Let's go back to the bum that is Wolverine. For the life of me, I never understood why Logan was so down bad for Jean when he gets women in almost every continent. I mean, to be fair, Jean Grey, she is a baddie.
I am life incarnate. I am Phoenix.
Wolverine has over a dozen plus.
Honestly, bro, with the Jean Grey, Mary Jane, maybe I don't like that movie. Kind of disagree. You know, personally, kind of disagree. I don't see it, bro. All the X-Men are always tripping. Listen, if I was in the mutant X-Men Marvel world, right? I was just a regular dude. Or even if I was a mutant, right? I'm not dating Jean Grey. Bro can't even touch me. So, I'm not doing that. The only one that's only valid is Storm. Let's think. And Jubilee, but I don't mess with Jubilee. I'm gonna keep it real. I don't mess with Jubilee. But like, come on, bro. Like, come on, man. But we all know the baddest Marvel superhero is Okoye from the Black Panther movies, the bald lady. We mess with her. Everyone does, including me, especially me. I remember in 2018 I seen Black Panther.
Wolverine has over a dozen plus love interests, and yet he continues to pine after the telepathic Mary redhead that dies every other Tuesday. I've been rewatching the old X-Men series from the 90s, and Wolverine's let's call it fascination. Yeah, his fascination with Jean is honestly something else. We're only 5 episodes into season 1. Wolverine has bandages wrapped around his chest after throwing hands with Sabretooth. Mind you, Wolverine's mutant power is an accelerated healing factor, so any wounds he sustains instantly heals. Enter Jean.
Sabretooth nearly killed you.
Barely.
Someday I'll learn not to let my guard down.
Oh no!
Yo, bruh. Yo. It did not hurt that bad, bro. Oh my gosh, bro. I haven't watched original X-Men since I was like 8, bro. I haven't. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, bro. That had me dying, bro.
Enter Jean.
Sabretooth nearly killed you.
Barely.
Someday I'll learn not to let my guard down.
Oh no!
Jean.
Wolverine, be so for real. You were doing all these karate bum moves, but the moment Jean enters the room, you're doing ooh. The pain, make it stop. Is this the same Wolverine that survived the full force of the atomic bomb? But a swipe from Sabretooth has left you incapacitated. Knowing damn well those injuries healed, he just wanted Jean to nurse him back to health. And speaking of Jean, I'm side-eyeing you too, cause don't you have a man? that's waiting for you to go on a date? There is a moment of tension between them. Jean says that Scott is waiting for her, and Wolverine confesses that he's waiting for her too.
Cyclops is waiting for me.
So am I.
So pathetic.
And while
Oh
these
my
two
gosh,
are-
bro. Wolverine, bro. He's one of the coldest characters ever. But any time with Jean, he just ruins it. It's hard. It's hard to be a Wolverine fan sometimes in 2026, bro. It's hard, bro. Cause like, yo, I'm gonna still play your game, right? I'm gonna have to get $30 more, but I'm still gonna play your game, bro. It's just like Wolverine. He just does. It makes me
They
mad.
get easily clapped and kidnapped, but back to the loser that is Wolverine. The scene I'm going to show you next has done severe damage to Wolverine's reputation. Not only did it become a meme, but also a Funko Pop. Let's analyze this and remember,
the one in bed?
we are still only 5 episodes into season 1. He's looking at a photo laying on his bed, full uniform, most likely funky and musty, gazing longingly at a picture. Who is it in this photo that has the tough, rugged Wolverine yearning after them so desperately?
Starts with a J.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man.
Wrong image, bro. I was gonna say wrong image, bro.
Scott's girlfriend.
Yo. That's I ain't gonna lie, bro. If you in your bed looking at pictures, bro, that's just going with no hands, chat. Not gonna hold. That's crazy. And literally Scott's in the picture. I would have at least I would have had the least moral ability to cut Scott off the picture, but he's still in the picture, bro. So you just
A quick reminder,
like,
don't
yo.
waste time. These two aren't married yet, but will soon. This has got to be the most abysmal thing I have ever seen. But it's okay. Logan is just a 200.
I mean, he literally could have. No, Wolverine literally lived for like almost centuries, bro. He could have pulled fine stuff for centuries, but when it comes to Jean, bro, she don't want you. Sit down. You're 5'1". You're a short guy like me. Short. Don't know what's happening. Like, don't.
Plus teenager that's yearning after another man's girl. But seriously, Wolverine has their photo and has it sitting on the side of his bed, most definitely looking at it every night when he goes to sleep and staring longingly when he wakes up. Wolverine, this is embarrassing. Here you are caressing it as if Jean will pop out the picture. So not only does Wolverine has this photo of Jean, but also Scott. All jokes aside, where did he get this photo from? I will bet $100, because I'm a brokey, that Wolverine stole this photo
he for sure snuck into their
Jean
room.
or Scott's room. Also, at the end of the episode when the X-Men save Jean and Scott, you see him staring at them in disappointment for being together. Now, I understand being disappointed when someone you care about and love doesn't feel the same way about you, but it's like, bro,
Move on.
that's not your relationship or business, so why try to intervene or hope they break up so you can slide on in? He was so frustrated that Jean was in a committed relationship with Scott, he left the team. He packed up whatever he had, which wasn't much, and hightailed it back to Canada. Scott immediately calls out Wolverine's BS behavior.
You know that temper of his. If he doesn't get his way, he's gone.
Was he lying though? Jean realizes that Wolverine has left because of her, and the camera pans over to the picture of her and Scott.
Wait a damn minute.
That's the photo he was caressing earlier. This one is clearly a different pic. Does Wolverine have a collection of photos consistent just Scott and Jean?
I'm weird. I'm a weirdo.
Oh no, he left behind his
Oh,
photo.
I'm
How's
a
he gonna sleep at
creep.
night without looking at Jean's face. This is such a high school reaction. You're telling me Wolverine turned tail and ran away?
That's acting like this is
because
Twilight
Jean
movies.
chose Scott? Does he y'all realize how childish this makes him look? Logan, you are way too old acting like a teenager. A brooding 200 plus teenager crying over someone who is 2 decades old. Fast forward, and Scott finally asks Jean to marry him, and of course she says yes. Listen, it's always gonna be Scott Summers no matter what. Even when Jean gets involved with Logan, she always returns to Scott. And Wolverine, he's back on some BS in the first episode of season 2. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, what is going on? Well...
Do you, Scott Summers, take this woman to be your lawfully wedded
He's
wife?
the type of dude, he's gonna object? He's gonna object and then what? Like, bro, for sure.
Do you, Scott Summers, take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife?
It's Scott and Jean's wedding day. These two lovebirds are doing their vows and saying I do. Meanwhile,
You can't have her!
He's a comedian. He's a comedian.
I have no words. This man, Wolverine, James Logan, is in the danger room fighting to the death with a holographic robotic whatever version of Scott Summers. Scott is getting married. Jean is getting married. Everyone else is celebrating. Wolverine is so pressed that Scott is marrying Jean Grey that the bum had to go into the danger room to relieve his pent-up envy and rage out on a fake version of Scott.
I'm beginning to feel much better now.
Baby, you got to go to hell, okay? Like, the faster you do it, the better off everybody involved is going to be.
This is no longer embarrassing. I need another word for embarrassing. This is a self-inflicted humiliation ritual. This is mortifying. Wolverine, you 5'3", musty, anger-filled man-child, you're having a tantrum about a woman that was never yours to begin with. And you know what's even more bizarre?
You didn't even ask. Didn't ask. Just waited. That's all you did. Ain't even ask.
He has woman after woman after woman that wants him. Wolverine's options were never limited. He just limited himself to one woman who'll always choose Scott Summers. Loser behavior. What's even worse, he's losing the fight against fake Cyclops. He gets turned every which way and ends up getting knocked out unconscious, whispering, Jean. And after he wakes up, Jean comes into the danger room sensing something was wrong as he never showed up to the wedding. Wolverine gives her this sad puppy dog yearning eyes talking about some...
Jean,
I have to go. Scott and we have to catch a plane.
I know I'm going in heavy on Wolverine, but Jean, she keeps giving him misleading mixed signals that she's attracted to him, but she's gonna stay loyal to Scott. And Wolverine needs to suck it up and let her go. But we gotta talk about the 2000s. To be more exact, the Fox X-Men movies, hear me out. Wolverine has always been a popular character, but thanks to Hugh Jackman and his Hugh Jackman and his portrayal of Wolverine, he gave this character 20 plus years of amazing PR. But let's be so for real, when watching some of the Fox X-Men movies, you gotta realize there are no other main characters but Wolverine. They turned Cyclops into a side character and completely undermined him and did reprehensible damage to his image for 2 decades and forced more Wolverine and Jean Grey propaganda down our throats.
I don't want them feeling good. I want them to feel like shit. So hopefully they did.
It's only been recently in the last couple of years, thanks to X-Men 97 and Marvel Rivals, we're seeing in real time Cyclops getting the love that he deserves. Don't get me wrong, there are plenty of comic book readers who could read me to filth about how amazing Cyclops is and how he was always that guy. But unfortunately, a lot of people's first exposure to Cyclops is the Fox X-Men movies. and it led them to believe he was this uninteresting, boring bum. Now, the more I think about it, pretty much every character outside of Magneto, Xavier, and Wolverine were nerfed, and it looks like they had no idea what to do with the rest of these characters. That's why I am praying and hoping the MCU X-Men do a better job. Top tier cast.
Okay. Wait, hold on.
Honestly,
Yeah, immaculate cast. Immaculate cast. I think they're for sure gonna do better, without a doubt in my mind. I don't even think Wolverine gonna be in this, to be honest. And if he is, he might be in the post-credit scene. I think it's gonna be like early X-Men. You know what I'm saying? Like early joints. Yeah, bro. I mean, especially the actor that plays Rogue, bro. She just did Obsession, bro, and now she's like the biggest actress. Like just like that. Like just like that. Like I thought Tiana Taylor was having a good year, bro, but then that horror movie happened. And then bang,
Laura
just
Weaving as Emma Frost. Chef's kiss. The telepathic billionaire businesswoman with a face card that can cut diamonds who's always dressed down? Whoever casted her understood the assignment. Also, the MCU better not play when it comes to award show. Y'all got the budget. Spider-Man made y'all $1 billion.
$2 billion.
But yeah, they
$2 billion. Two.
Cyclops dirty in these movies. Dude will be in the background as Wolverine flirted with Jean right in front of him, or vice versa. And the Jean and Wolverine plot device made even less sense in the movies. It made zero sense story-wise or chemistry-wise. When exactly did Logan have the time to get to know Jean? In the first movie, Logan meets Jean when she examines him as a doctor. He immediately becomes interested in her, flirts with her, and she tells him, I have a boyfriend. They have maybe, I don't know, 3, maybe 4 casual conversations throughout the entire movie. That's basically it. Logan helps Jean and the rest of the X-Men save the world, and then he leaves to continue searching for answers about his past. So already, I'm sitting here wondering, when did this become a deep emotional connection? Then we get to X2. Logan returns from his travels, and somehow he's still interested in Jean despite the fact that she's now engaged to Scott. But again, Logan and Jean still don't have many meaningful conversations, yet the movie presents them like they have this deep, complicated history and all of this unresolved tension. I'm sorry, but where did that come from? They talk a few times. Logan helps save the day and Jean sacrifices herself. Then we get to the hot mess that is X-Men The Last Stand. Jean returns, but she's being controlled by the Phoenix, is no longer herself. They kill off Scott within the first 30 minutes of the movie. Jean bodies Professor Xavier, and Wolverine's the only one who gets close enough to stop her. He tells her, I love you, and takes her out. Then we get to the Wolverine. Logan is living in isolation, struggling with the loss of Jean and haunted by her memories, dreaming about her every night and keeping a photo of her? Hey, at least they stay consistent with that part of his character. We're supposed to believe Wolverine is devastated over Jean years after her death, even though the movies barely show these two actually getting to know each other? I wouldn't even call them close friends. If anything, Logan was interacting more with Storm than Jean. So how did the writers expect the audience to believe that this was some huge forbidden romance? The movies keep telling us that Logan has these powerful feelings for Jean, and he does, but they rarely show us why. And now we're getting into the nonsense that is X-Men Apocalypse, where Logan makes his brief appearance after being experimented on as part of the Weapon X program. And the person who manages to reach him is a 16-year-old Jean Grey to calm him down. Now, I understand.
No cap. No cap. Things getting suspicious. Now look, I ain't trying to put the accusations on him quick, but man, the X-Men movies really made no sense. I seen half of the first one, right? And I seen X-Men Apocalypse before. So
I didn't realize that was out. Why did I realize that was gone?
boy at? Come on over here. My boy that's born a grown man too. I sent his daddy a picture of his mouth. That's how he got that picture. Yep. You gotta send grandma the picture of him swimming in that. Oh, yes, yeah. He put it on. Coming down from the slide.
Adding more time to the reaction. Let's continue.
What the scene is going for, Jean is using her abilities to calm Logan down and help him regain control. But once again, the movies, heck, even in X-Men 97, Morph has to transform into Jean for Wolverine to stop.
This is crazy, bro. Make no sense. Make no sense.
Since she's the one person who can break through Logan's defenses, and my thing is, what if Jean isn't there? Is Logan gonna go ham and take out everybody?
Jean.
Bombastic side eye.
Yeah, for more. Look, bro. He was for sure gonna take everyone out. Not gonna lie.
Criminal offensive side eye.
And it seems like almost every iteration of the X-Men continues with the BS of this tired, forced relationship and love triangle. Wolverine and the X-Men. Not gonna lie, I actually enjoyed this one. This was the show that made me fall in love with Emma Frost's character. Unfortunately, it only got one season. Like any other X-Men show and movie, Jean flips the hell out with the Phoenix Force and blows up the school. Girl, it's the way I would have dropped out of Xavier's with the swiftness. That school stays getting destroyed. But before all of this, Wolverine was leaving and everyone is in a tizzy about it. Jean and Scott are in an argument because Jean wants Scott to apologize to Logan for attacking him. And I'm sure all of you are wondering, Toons, why did Scott attack Wolverine? Well...
I hear you read minds.
Shut your
Memory problem. Thought maybe you could help. But why
That's
have
assault.
an old man in my head when I can have you?
This is a problem. I don't like that.
You can't have me.
You're a compulsional, compassionate liar. Like your line is so compassionate with yourself that you.
If you ever change your mind.
Mind you, in this version of the X-Men, this is the first time Jean and Wolverine ever met. And they're already flirting. I guess Jean was starstruck from seeing a brooding hot 200-plus teenager roll up to the school with a motorcycle.
She found him intriguing. A dangerous man with a mysterious past. And her with the tools to help him.
Took the words right out of my mouth, Emma. I get finding another guy fascinating with his dark, mysterious, and brooding past. But Jean, you have a boyfriend who for some reason is always lingering in the back while y'all two flirt. This happened in the movies. Now here? Jean is also to blame. She stays enabling this behavior and creepy infatuation he has for her. And when Scott rightfully checks Logan and presses him to stop flirting with his girlfriend, you would think Logan would have the common sense and decency to say, hey, I'm intervening on another man's relationship and I gotta pump the brakes while the flirtation.
A few moments later.
Pretty girl. She can definitely do better.
That's all I needed.
Oh, yep, that's murder. That's murder. He gotta die. Let someone say that to me, bro. I'm airing the place out, bro. That can't happen. There's a few things I'll let slide, but nah, that can't happen.
To do that, and it became personal with me.
Honestly, Logan, you deserve to get jumped after that. You've been here less than 10 minutes and trying to swipe or no swipe Jean Grey. And when he leaves, Jean has the nerve to blow him a kiss. Girl.
Yep, nope, no.
Why did you wait until his back was turned to blow him a kiss? This is the foolishness I'm talking about here. I swear, the Jean and Wolverine propaganda just gets worse every year. I don't know why Marvel is so insistent and heavily pushing it when 99.9% of the fans hate this ship and the love triangle that comes along with it. They want these two to be canon so bad. Hell, even in the comics during the Coca-Cola era, it was heavily implied that Wolverine was now in a relationship with Scott and Jean. Ooh! And the reason why everyone is saying this, because their rooms are the only rooms in the Summers household that are connected. Now, while I've been trashing Wolverine and Jean and making Scott look like the innocent Boy Scout of the X-Men, let's be honest and fair, Scott is far from perfect. There was a time that he had a telepathic affair with Emma Frost. What? Another messy love triangle. And then there's his first wife, Madeline Pryor, the clone of Jean Grey, created by Mr. Sinister. I love the X-Men. They stay getting into some type of drama. I'm sure a lot of you are aware of this one thanks to X-Men 97, but the way 97 handles Scott and Madeline was much better in the show than in the comics, cause
Oh.
So Jean is dead. Girl, give it 5 minutes, she'll come back. This all happens during the Dark Phoenix saga. Scott was devastated after Jean's apparent death, and because everyone believes she was gone permanently, he eventually left the X-Men and headed to Alaska, which is where he's from. And that's where he meets Madeline Pryor, a pilot who looks remarkably similar to Jean. Scott obviously noticed the resemblance, but eventually lowered his guard and fell in love with her. And somehow, this man convinced himself that everything was perfectly normal. A woman who looks exactly like his deceased ex? Nothing odd about that. Meanwhile, Madeline is at home giving labor on the floor. I did say give it 5 minutes. Jean comes back from the dead and Scott straight up leaves his wife and freshly born son Nathan to get back together with Jean. Scott really got up and dipped out on his wife to be with his dead ex. If the situation could get any worse, Nathan gets kidnapped. She pulls up on Mr. Sinister for snatching her baby. He drops the bomb that she's a clone of Jean Grey. And true to his name, he was being Cupid out in these streets, pulling the strings to bring Scott and Maddie together so he could swipe their baby. And honestly, when you look at everything Madeline went through, it's like, yeah.
I'm mad as hell.
Think about it. She marries Scott. They have a baby together. She loses her baby, and she learns she's the clone of her ex's ex.
Dang. Yeah. It's clear. X-Men's messy, bro. Messy.
Madeline gave Scott everything, and he still turned his back on her for Jean? And Jean, you ain't safe from criticism either. You really took back a man that willingly and effortlessly abandoned his wife and child to be with you? But thankfully, X-Men 97 made this less messy. And yes, I know I got sidetracked again, but I will say this once more before leaving. Love triangles are stupid. Wolverine and Jean is uncooked dry meat with no seasoning. This ship is just repetition for the status quo becoming predictable and stale, but somehow Marvel wants to suffocate all of us with it. I'm actually excited to play the new Wolverine game. He looks like a soft teddy bear. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to notifications but never miss an update. And oh, this could be a new thing we could do on the channel to just talk about messy love triangles. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!
Man, good video, bro. Good video, but it's clearly not a good situation.